Hello.
Howdy.
Good evening,
Howdy.
everyone.
How are you guys? Hello. Good evening, everybody. How are you today? I hope you'll be joining us. We are asking a very, very important question today in the spirit of Nigeria's independence, 57th independence anniversary. We thought we're still in October, it's early October, so why don't we have this discussion today? So I hope you guys at home will be joining us. So wherever you are, you could be in a car, I hope you'll be joining us today. Ifenyuwa, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining. How are you today? I hope you're okay. Thank you so much, Grace. How are you? Thank you very much, Grace. Hafolabi, how are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. In the spirit of Nigeria's independence anniversary, we thought we should continue and have a conversation with you about how independent are you. So when I say you, I mean you personally, I mean the nation as well, I mean where we are, I mean just being independent generally. Any angle of independence, how really independent are we? Even as Christians, even as individuals, even in the church, how independent are we? You know, we talked about, I know Dr. Sunday has talked about this before, unto freedom you're called. What does freedom have to do with independence? What does independence mean? And we also want to take it from different angles. You know, we are from different places, not just Nigeria. We have here the Nigerian, Ukrainian / Russian here.
/ Greek.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. / Greek.
/ Russian / Greek, because I'm half Ukrainian, half Russian.
Okay.
So.
Russian / Russian, Greek, Ukrainian. We have her right here with us. And obviously, 100% Nigerian / okay, if I'm 100%, I can't be / anything. Okay.
Well, you are not 100% Nigerian,
okay.
because you grown up in different place.
Okay, so I am Nigerian / British. So both of that as well. And also, we know that there are people from at least 190 countries all over the world that watch Dr. Sunday. So we really want to hear your contribution and your thoughts on this as well. So please share your opinion with us. We really like to hear from you. So you can call Julie Ngoya on Messenger, Julie Ngoya, or you can leave your comments in the comment section and we would read that out as well. We really want engagement for this conversation. It's a really important conversation and everyone needs to be involved. Good evening. Thank you, KPZ. Thank you very much. Hello, Paul. Good evening. Jane, how are you? Gold V, good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Jide, good evening. Thank you for joining. Okay, those are the names that I can read right now. So, guys, without further ado, you know what to do. Share. So please share with as many people as possible. You can do that by tagging, which is using the @ button and the name of the person that you want to join us or to be mentioned. So don't leave a space between @ and the name. Just write it all one word, and Facebook will populate names and you can select names. Please aim to tag at least 10 people because this is an interesting conversation. I think we could all engage in this and have some connection that would help us to learn from each other. And another way of sharing this is by you actually just clicking the share button and it will share onto your page. And the third and final way that I know, you might know other ways, is to share by inviting individuals on your page. So if you click the share and it goes to invite, the list of people's names will pop up and you can start clicking on their names so that they can also be notified that you want them to join you in this conversation. Hello, Innocent. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Julie's here. So, guys, please feel free to call us on Julie Ngoya's Messenger. We really want your engagement. So, the question is, how independent are you? How independent are you? So, I think, first of all, as we usually do for attributes, but we're not discussing attributes today, but it's important for us to have a common ground of the definition of what we're talking about. Of course, you can bring another angle. So in terms of definition, Kate.
It's not even common ground. It's just, if you don't know the meaning of the word, you cannot do anything with this. Do you remember Pastor was saying, bring me яблоко?
Yes.
Yablaka and
I know what yablaka is
and
now.
everyone was guessing what's yablaka, and no one could bring yablaka. So unless you know definition, unless you know that yablaka is the apple, you cannot bring it. And the same with independence. You cannot even think what you think about independence if you don't know what's the meaning. And usually when I look into dictionary, I find out that, oh my God, I didn't know the meaning of this word, because I thought I knew, but it's not actually the meaning of the word.
And we use the word loosely. We think we're using some words correctly. I found this out during attributes, that these are words that I know, that I use a lot. Well, not a lot. I use at some point in my life. And I realized that I don't really know the true meaning. Or even I'm not really thinking about it in a way to actually actualize the true meaning of it.
There is a power in word. If you know the meaning of the word, you can use it. You can use it to you can use to your benefit this word. If you know the meaning. If you don't know, for example, if you don't know what's love, love is just a feeling that you are feeling. But love is much more. So if you know the definition of love, of real love, and not only the definition like in dictionary, but also what Bible says about love, how Jesus presents love, for example, then you have a whole new world in front of you. So and if we will now dig deeper in meaning of independence, then we will have a new world opened in front of us.
Excellent. So let's start. Without further ado, guys, let me ask you one more time before we start engaging in this conversation so much that we don't even have the time to share. So please share, tag somebody, invite somebody to join you. Anyhow you want to do it, either by tagging, either by inviting or sharing onto your page. Just do as you wish. We really appreciate you doing that. Hello, Pastor Ernest. Good evening. Hello, Sunday. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. What else do we have here? So I've said hello to the people that can see their names, but I know there are more people, so I really do want to appreciate you and thank you. And also remind you that you can call us on Julie Ngoya's Messenger. So call Julie Ngoya on Messenger if you want to speak to us and speak live on the program, or you can write down your comments on this discussion. So the title is In the Spirit of Nigerians' Independence Anniversary. How independent are you? How independent are you? And Kate here is going to give us a definition of independence, because she just explained clearly why we all need to have understanding of the topic, or should I say the word independence.
The thing is that there is no one definition. There are a lot of definitions, and everyone selects his own definition that is closer to him. So let's start with the first one definition, which is Wikipedia definition, but after we will go to dictionaries.
Yeah, and I would like to go to vocabulary as well.
Okay, so independence is a condition of a nation, country, or state in which its residents and population, or some portion thereof, exercise self-government, and usually sovereignty over the territory. The opposite of independence is dependent territory. So I would like to draw your attention to exercising independence. Self-government, exercise and self-government. What is self-government to you?
Okay, I want to think of it that is maybe self-management, but you authorize yourself. You give yourself power. You give yourself rules. You give yourself boundaries. So that's what I think.
People think that freedom is no boundaries. People think freedom is no boundaries.
No, not in my understanding.
Yes, brilliant. You know what? Also, Pastor Sunday's understanding is the same. That he has even teaching about freedom. That freedom is setting boundaries by yourself.
Yes, self-imposed. I think Dr. Sunday talked about it. like a self-imposed or self-regulation, regulating yourself, doing what you need to do.
But most people, they think that independence, it means freedom, it means that you are not, you don't have any borders, you don't have anything that holds you, you are just like a wind, flying.
No, not at all.
Like
I mean, even freedom in
all
itself.
over the place.
No, even freedom in itself does not mean that. The word freedom does not mean that you just do anything. It also means that you impose the right thing to do, but you made that choice.
So that does it mean that a nation that do not understand that a nation has to set boundaries for itself? I don't say about boundaries like having boundaries to a country, like a territory. I say about nation, which I believe boundaries to a nation is actually values. So if the nation doesn't set boundaries to itself, then there is no independence.
No, it's true. There is no independence because without the actual without making a choice. I think for me, independence have the definition to make a choice for yourself without somebody else imposing it. But it does not mean doing anything. It means having a set regulation or rules, but those rules were not imposed on you by somebody else. It means a rule that you put in place to achieve a goal or to achieve a common understanding amongst.
It looks to me so complicated. I cannot understand it. Can you explain to me on the example of a person, independent person?
Okay. An independent person, in my opinion, is somebody that knows, has a sound mind, first of all, makes the right decisions.
It's the mind that sounds?
Kate, this is serious here. Okay. Kate is so playful, more than I am now. Actually, I'm the playful one. Okay. It's
sorry, I didn't know. I think it's wrong.
It's having a sound mind. So first of all, you have to have a sound mind. And from that point where you have a sound mind, you need to make decisions, not one decision, decisions after decisions to achieve a set goal without somebody imposing on you what you need to do to achieve those goals. So that's independence for me.
Does it mean that if there is no goal, actually, like what kind of independence it is?
Well, if there's no goal, there's no target, there's no focus, there is no direction, then there's no independence.
Let's take an example of person who doesn't have freedom, literally doesn't have freedom. Like for example, like people that were in slavery before, they didn't have freedom. Okay, when they could understand, they do not have freedom. When they wanted to do something that they wanted, they had goal, right?
Yes.
So if the target was not to survive, just not to eat, but to have a goal, like for example to go somewhere where this person wants, or to have education that he wants. For example, we had Ukraine also for many years was dependent on Russia, and even before Soviet Union we had some kind of slavery here. Ukrainians were slaves to Russia, and one of the greatest people here in Ukraine, Shevchenko, is not the player in the Dynamo Kiev. Shevchenko is a writer. He had so many talents, and he wanted to draw, and he had to beg his owner, to let him learn this, because he had a goal and he didn't have the freedom to go forward, So at this point, he felt so much his dependence.
Yes.
He felt so much that he's not free to govern himself. He's not free to do what he wants, because he had a goal, and he had to fight for it. But other children, because he was a child at this moment, other children, they didn't have this goal.
Exactly.
So they didn't have to fight.
Yes.
And they didn't have enemies.
Exactly. And you see, this is exactly why independence is not. It has to start from the mind, same as freedom. The ones that didn't have the goal, they're not going to feel like they're deprived of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're in the same situation, they're not deprived.
It reminds me about women that are married and don't have any choice. Yeah, they cannot do a choice, make a choice. All choices are done by men. You know, only men are deciding their, those married women future. You know, and it's like
that issue is like 2 hours program on its own.
No, I'm talking about independence, you know. So these women are not independent. They're not independent. They are dependent so much that they, cannot do a step right or step left. But at the moment when they have a goal, when they decide that they want to build something in their life, when they want, even sometimes when they want to build themselves, when they want to devote 5 hours or 3 hours a day to learn something, to learn, for example, a new language, and they have to go for lessons, and their husband says, what new language? Just forget about this. You're not going to another country.
And then they feel the feeling of lack of independence.
Now you understand that you are dependent, and now you want independence. So the goal exposes so much if you have a dependence or you have independence.
Well done, Kate. Guys, I hope that we have actually we have actually ignite something right now with this introduction of independence and our thoughts on it, and how we arrived at the definition of what independence is and freedom as well. So we're talking about independence in the spirit of Nigerians' independence. We want to ask you, how independent are you, or how independent do you think your nation is, or how independent is Nigeria? If you want to talk about Nigeria, feel free to do so. Just in any way that you think that this would help this discussion, feel free to share with us. You can call Julie Ngoya on Messenger, Julie Ngoya, and you can talk to us live, or you can write your comment here. I think some people have written comments already, especially Chimezi, and I would like to read the comments out. Okay, thank you very much. Hello, Vivian. Thank you for joining. Who do we have? So we have Chimezi saying, leading yourself is such a difficult thing. It requires discipline and focus. Perfect.
Yeah.
That alone.
But this understanding can have only a person who has goals. Because you cannot even think about, you will not think about discipline if you don't have a goal.
And I think Chimezi already spoke about goals at the top, because I'm reading from the last few comments. So we have Chimezi says, self-government, I would think, means or refers to an individual being able to lead themselves or lead themselves toward a goal or objective. So he's spoken about goals, and not many people are able to lead themselves, talk less of leading others. Excellent. Thank you, Chimezi.
But many people who cannot even lead themselves are trying to lead others.
And I think also that's the challenge, and that's where the struggle comes, you know, that where to do not agree. Since Kate talked about women before, let's put it in the context of even in relationships, where two do not agree, because the agreement comes from a goal. There have to be a goal that you are agreeing to. And then if you don't agree on something, then you can't lead. You know, there cannot be a leader, because the two people have to agree first for there to be a leader. But that's another case entirely. So guys, let's see your thoughts on this, and we really want to hear from you so that we can also get your own knowledge, add your knowledge to ours as well. So Julie is inviting everybody to call her, or anyone that can call her for this topic, to join in the conversation. Oluremi, good evening. Thank you very much. Daniel, good evening. Abidemi, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. So
exercise. Exercise self-government is the definition of independence. Is ability to exercise self-government.
The ability.
Exercise. What is exercise?
Exercise means practice. Put it in action.
Not talk about this.
No, not talk about it.
What happens to our politics then?
Yes, I think that's the challenge also about if we're talking in terms of nations and a country, or maybe continents. Let's say a country, because in terms of independence is referring to countries, individual countries. And the problem is that they do not exercise it. And if you speak about something, you speak about what it means to have something, or actually have in paper or written form or being declared to be independent. If that exercising, the action does not precede it, or is it precede? No, it's not precede. Does not follow. Then it doesn't. It means that independence is not, in my opinion, I think that is nullified. It's not there. It's just there as a word. So if there's no exercising, which is the action that makes it real, makes it what it is, makes it freedom, and makes it true independence, then it's not independence.
So it means that you have to build independence every day.
Yes.
So in terms of personality, you have to build your independence every day. And in terms of nation, you have to build your independence every day.
It's progressive. It's something that has to continue on a daily basis. So it's not something that you stop. It's like breathing.
So it looks like this is what Pastor Sunday is doing. Like he is building independence of Nigeria. Can we say that Nigeria has independence now? Like independent?
No.
So so then I can see that Pastor Sunday is building this independence, because of the products that he is releasing.
Yes. And I think also we all, this is a duty for everybody. It's not just one person's duty.
Yeah,
and I think that's
it's a good example, because if I'm thinking now about myself, I'm not adding to independence of my country or or my Ukrainian nation or a Greek country where I'm living too.
Yes, but your actions add to it. What you do in relations to the country. So even though you're making the decisions for yourself, is it in relation to the benefit? Who is going to benefit from it? How many people will benefit from this? So it's also important that individuals make the decision and take and do the exercise, which is the actions that is necessary. Yes, we got a caller. Who is that on the line?
Hi, good morning, good day, everyone.
Good day. I know it's morning for you, Chimezi. Thank you for joining us. We love it when you join us. So please share your opinion.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for creating this opportunity to share.
Thank you.
I was just going to say, briefly, this is quite an interesting topic about independence and looking at it, first of all, from the individual angle before we even begin to, exemplify that as a nation. And I think it's a critical thing because you find out that most nations that have been successful in managing their independence have a large pool of citizens who have managed their own individual independence.
Yes.
And they literally just bring that to the national platform. Like I already defined, I think for an individual to be said to have independence, you must first of all define what values and goals and objectives you want to live by. And your objectives will vary from individual to individual. And the capacity for an individual to be able to, appreciate those unique values and their own unique situations is what is going to help them avoid comparing themselves with another individual and being bold enough to appreciate their independence and to say, well, yes, I live by these values. Mayowa lives by these different values. I don't want to be a Mayowa. And when Mayowa is trying to influence me to give up my values, because I appreciate and know where those values are taking me to, because I know where I want to go to, I'm able to say, oh, Mayowa, thank you very much. I think I want to be able to stick to my values because I know these values eventually is going to help me accomplish my goals. And first of all, when an individual appreciates and enjoys their independence, male or female, by the time they are ready to go into a marriage, they know the kind of values they want to see in a partner on the other side that would enable them to say, okay, this is the right person. I think I don't necessarily share exactly the same values, but I think these values will complement the values I bring. Therefore, if we go into a family, we'll be able to build a new set of values from each of us as individuals, and that would help us. And that's when, like you already rightly said, two cannot work together unless they agree, unless there are those value alignments.
Yes.
So I think if you bring that gradually and escalate that to a nation, now when you have a leader who is going to be like a president or something, because they know their values, then they'll begin to say, okay, how do we commonly as a government or as a people set some values that will make us unique. Therefore, if, say, country A, Nigeria, has this set of values, has these goals it wants to achieve, has certain things it wants to be able to be known for, if America is bringing any values to you, you'll be able to stand and assert your independence and say, you know what, we appreciate you. We appreciate where you're coming from, but this is what we want to be known for. This is what makes us unique, and this is where we're going. And then as a nation, as a people, you push it. So I don't know if it makes sense. It has to start first of all from the individual.
Yes.
Individuals don't even understand what values they need for. And as a result, they're not able to assert their independence. They're always hoping and wishing, like you rightly said, or was it your colleague that rightly said,
Kate.
Like especially women when it comes to male-female thing, you find most women wanting the man to do everything, or vice versa, as the situation may be, because they don't even know what values they stand for. You need to be able to appreciate your self-independence, based on what it is you feel God has called you to do, and be bold and courageous about it. You're not necessarily putting down others, but you're courageous. So when you do that, you appreciate where you are, then you're going to be a success. That's just my own perspective to it.
It's a brilliant.
It aligns with what you guys are teaching this morning.
Yes, it absolutely is aligned, and we're so grateful for this because
so it's like values are maybe.
Kate is saying, if you can
important.
hear, that values is also very important, and I think those goals are set through values. But one thing that I also deduce from what you're saying is that you also have, it's almost, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say self-worth or self-esteem or
self-conscious.
That is it.
Yes.
Self-esteem.
Yes, for self-esteem, because when you gave the example of if other people have certain values and they're trying to tell you to go to this direction, you would appreciate their own point or where they're coming from, their angle, but your focus will be on what you need to do because your values is based on your self-esteem, self-understanding, self-worth, knowing that your goal...
Yeah, let me give you a little example, sorry.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I hope yeah. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so let's take we all follow global politics. We know, especially two nations, Russia, US, and maybe China. You see, the Americans have certain values.
Yes.
They will tell you they have a capitalist value. They will tell you they have a democratic value. And they will defend that value anywhere, anytime. In fact, they go as far as making sure that in their hemisphere, they don't want any value that is antithetical to that to come close to them.
Yes.
And the Russians will tell you the same thing, and they will ward off the US from coming close to them. They are all proud of those values. Sometimes we may not agree with them, but they tell you this is how we want to live our life. If you're coming to our country, you have to accept to live by this standard and this way. And they are proud of it.
Yes.
And when each of them tries to impose on the other person, the person says, sorry, you can keep that gift if that gift is going to be based on me having to leave my values to adopt yours. But you see, that's what happens with those of us who come from the third world. We allow those values to be imposed on us. And when they are trying to give us things, they tell us, we will only give you this when you accept to do this.
Yes.
They give us those conditions. But when we are proud of our values, and we are that independence, and that's that independence, you're able to say, okay, yes, I want to have this from you, but if it's going to be tied to my having to give up my values, thank you very much, I don't want.
Yes, absolutely. And the important thing here as well is that, to establish that value, those values in the first place. I think when you mentioned the third world, I'm not sure if we have actually established a value. What do we stand for? Because the examples of US and Russia that you gave, they know what they stand for. Each part knows what they stand for, and they're not wavering from it. They are resolved, just like we spoke about what we spoke about. Yes, purpose. They have a purpose, and I think this is also what values are. Your values are not just there because it's nice to have. It's because those values have purpose for you. They have meaning. It's something that is tangible that you're aiming to attain. So these countries that you gave examples as well, they know where they want to stand, how they want to relate, how they want the people to relate. But we do that as a nation in Africa. We use an example of Nigeria, given the spirit of Nigerian independence. Do we have that? What are our values as Nigerians? What do we stand for? What are our goals? What, as a nation? I don't even know. Do you know? I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me out, because
I'll just reiterate, we don't have it, because I've been in different fora where this has been discussed, and we can easily say this is the American dream, this is the American values.
Yes.
America will tell you it's a land of opportunity. It's a land
yes.
where anyone comes, you can accomplish anything.
Yes.
It's an egalitarian society.
Yes.
So the question has always been, what is the Nigerian dream?
I don't know.
What is it we want to see?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I mean, I don't even know if anyone in Nigeria knows. Any young people, do they know? Do we have our own dream? Do we? Because I know even in America, if you go to America and somebody is trying to do something, or maybe even the government are trying to, I plead the Fifth Amendment, or this is America, man. This is this. Everybody knows. Even if I want to say something as well, I'm not even in America. I can, when I think about America, I think, right, this is the place where there's rights. You have the right to do certain things, to say certain things, to be in certain position. This is a land of freedom, or land of opportunity, like you said. So what do we stand for? I think we're getting somewhere here. What is Nigeria's value? What is Nigeria's peace and unity is not happening, because I'm trying to think about the flag.
I'll just end and so allow you and then allow others who want to call too. I think this is a step in the right direction. This is how the conversation should start.
Yes.
It started, and I hope we can build on this. And I hope well-meaning Nigerians and Africans from different countries can pick up from these pieces and begin to see how we can begin to pursue this dialogue in a more meaningful way.
Well done, Chimeze. Thank you so much.
So
okay.
This is actually the values is actually the way the
what we stand for.
Yeah, no, I want to say that values is actually the instrument, building values is the instrument that Pastor is using now to help Nigeria. Because in this live broadcast about Nigeria independence, which we had 2 live broadcasts the same day on Nigeria.
On the 1st of October.
1st of October.
So let me remind people, if you haven't seen that, we had a broadcast which should be on YouTube now. You can go to Sunday Adelaja Official. It's a daily broadcast on the 1st of October. So the first one we had earlier, so on YouTube you wouldn't see the time that it was, but you see part 1 and part 2. So it's Nigeria's 57th independence anniversary. That's what it's titled. So please, you can watch that after this program or later on at your own pace. It's really good to do that. You would see where our conversation actually started from. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Pastor has presented about like 15 or 16 books that are aiming values, that are aiming to change values, or even not even to change,
to establish values.
Yeah, because people, they have values, but they are like they're not aware, and they are not conscious about which values they have.
Yes.
Because the outcome of these values we can see on the streets of Nigeria, and those videos that Pastor is showing on his live broadcast are showing the values. Actually, the outcome, the result of having values. So what the Pastor is working on, he's working on helping Nigeria to establish the right values, the values of Kingdom of God, the values that will help any nation to function as God has planned for any nation to function, and not because nation is built of people who are forming this nation. So
and people are built with values,
and people are built and they exist, and you can even say that a man is a man just because he has values. Otherwise, person without values is an animal. Yeah.
And what I want to say as well about values that Kate was saying as well, but I just want to kind of zoom in on this point, that if we don't choose values consciously, we will be living in values that are wrong. And I think maybe this is the problem with Nigeria and trying to establish values. If the values can come in right or wrong, so it's not necessarily like, if you think that this person has values, It has to be backed up with good or bad values. And it's like sometimes when people talk about making a choice, if you make no choice, you're making a choice not to make a choice. So you make it doing nothing.
Someone made choice for you.
Doing nothing is actually making a choice in itself. It's making a decision that you're not doing anything. Sometimes when you're indecisive and you need to make a decision and you don't make a decision, you've actually made a decision by not making a decision. So this same thing can be applied with values, if you don't establish...
You are coming from the country that understands values. I'm coming from the country where we don't understand values. What I mean by this is that when Pastor started telling us here in Ukraine about values, I took like 2 years to understand what values
Okay, which country am I coming from now?
You are coming from England, which understands
yes, values.
Values. Even if you ask a child what values are, he can understand, he can relate, he can explain what values does he have. If you ask here a grown-up person that is 50 years old what values he stands for, he won't be able to answer. He will say family, he will say like a good job. This is what he will say. He will not understand what values are. Yeah. And I believe from what I heard and saw on videos and etc. that Nigeria has the same problem.
Yes, Nigeria have this problem just the same way that if we do not establish these values, we don't set it right from a very early age, from our homes, from government, from the point of view of government, from the point of view of private sector, everyone that is involved in forming a nation as individual, right from very root, early age, then we are automatically going to put ourselves in a box of negative, or let's say, negative value systems. The positive value systems have to be consciously decided based on a goal, chosen based on a goal, based on an objective, based on a direction.
But then people must know what values will help to reach which goals, right?
Yes, they must know. Okay, first of all, this is a goal. So from this goal that I want to achieve, what are the values that I need in order to make this happen? You talked about England and, everybody knowing what the values is. When I was growing up, when I was conscious as a child, what they used to teach us in school is right and responsibility. That's when that's how I understood what values are. That if I want this, I have to be responsible in this way. Like, for example, if you go to school, when I was young, when we go to school and you haven't done your homework, for example, not only that you will not go for recess, no play, because you only have recess because you've done your homework. So if you haven't done your homework, you're going to spend the time where everybody is playing. And it's such a big deal to have recess as a child. If you're going to spend your time for homework, your time for playing with your friends, alone in the classroom doing homework. The same thing.
This is how they help to establish values, to value like work ethics.
Yes. So I have to think that, if I'm not doing well, I'm not doing well in class, or I didn't do my homework, then I'm not going to have fun. I'm just going to be in the class, and I'm going to end up doing this and losing out on recess.
So this is how they teach children. What about grown-up people? Do they understand that they have to change some values if they don't have results in life that they expect to have?
Absolutely,
they understand this.
I'm not sure if they do understand it, because everything that we are, all the habits and what we are is a total of us from childhood. Whatever you do as a child as well, if you don't have certain understanding, you grow up doing the same thing, but just in a bigger mass. Not like a child size, but an adult size, but still behaving like a child. So you have to establish this understanding, know this, and know that this is something that you have to put in place in your life. You have to discipline yourself, set goals, set your values to achieve those goals. If you don't do it and you think that you can achieve something for nothing, you can do something is just going to happen to you, that you will get what you want. Think about the things that you want, but you think something is going to happen, like miracles, for example, then you're not going to build on values.
So if someone wants to achieve independence, real independence, not only like not independence on paper, okay, then this means that people, they have to set some values as a goal to have those, to build those values in them.
Yes.
In themselves.
Yes.
And okay, what they do if they don't know which values they need and how to build them in themselves?
Okay. First of all, the values have to be values is something that can be learned, and they can be learned through books, how to do something. They can be learned through mentorship. They can be learned through looking at other people's lives that have achieved a goal. All of these are based on learning from other people, learning of processes, learning of systems that is going to help you to get to where you need to go to. So, and cultivating them as well. So in a case where you read something, everything is a theory. You read it, that's where it comes to where it says the action part. When you read the definition, that is, what's the word that they used? They used a different word from the definition that you shared with us. It was, let me go into it. I think it was exercise.
Yeah.
So everything, even if you know something in your head, if it's not exercised, or you see somebody doing something, if you don't exercise it, it does not form into that values that you're known for.
So if we say build values, you have to first to learn about this from some books.
Yes.
And
action it.
And then you have to practice and practice and practice until it becomes your
yes.
habit.
Until it becomes you, until you're known for this thing, that this is your life. This is how you respond automatically. So it becomes an automated response in your life. If you can know that something is good, but if you do not exercise it, you do not use it, nobody will know that you know this thing, number one. And even you cannot convince yourself that your knowledge is true. Like your knowledge of what you know is evident.
You know what I thought, with your example regarding this school, when you was a child, you were exercising something for this to become your value. Okay, you were exercising the work ethics,
yes.
right? But you didn't choose to do it. I mean, what I mean, you didn't choose the value. Someone should have chosen value for you and helped you to work on this value through the practice.
Yeah, I think I chose it.
Yeah, I think you have chosen to work with it. But if someone didn't propose you to go with the system like this, if you don't do the exercise, if you don't do your homework, then you don't go for.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So someone suggested you this system.
Yes.
Where I am taking you to is that
it is not required of me.
Yeah.
Or if I still go to recess.
Some people they don't understand what values are or how to find it, but you understand, for example, and you understand which values are important for me. Okay, like a child. So you are building system for these values to become my nature, and how to do it? I have to practice those values for a long time for them to become me. So this is how they were doing to you in England. But what I think, where I'm taking you to, is that we have books that are designed to build someone's values. But if people will just read, they will not have those values. They have to have systems in place to be able to practice those values. So if we have books, let's say Pastor Sunday's books, and for example, I don't know, on leadership, these books have reveals values.
Can we show the books?
I can make it like this. you just take this down like that.
Oh, but they won't say it the right way.
Yeah. They will.
No, no.
It's
Sorry, guys.
inverted.
We will do it the right way so that you can see it. We turn the
Take it.
books.
No,
Oh.
from here.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see some of these books.
So the question is that then it means that these books, they have to be taken to make some kind of systems out of it.
Yes,
For example, how to make Nigeria a greatest country in the world.
yes.
Okay, someone will read this book and he wouldn't have still these values. What he has to do, like how he practice.
Well, this is a how-to. Like I said, if there's something that says how to do something,
It means there is like
yes,
lessons. Or
there would be lessons in there of what you need to do to achieve the results.
so you have
and-
like to take this as a plan for you.
Yes, you have to, but you have to take the action on a daily basis, or you have to get the products or the tools that would enable you to put everything together in order to achieve it. You know, maybe it might not even be two. It might be that you have to wake up earlier in the day. You have to make sure that you have a list of everything that you want to do. No matter how small your plans are or what your goals are on a daily basis, and make sure you achieve those things. So that thing is gone for that day. And then another day you pick another set of things that you need to do. This might just be what you need to do in order to make a nation great. I haven't read this book.
The first thing is that you have to set up for you some kind of system for at least reading and understanding
Yes.
those books, and then out of those books you will get some kind of system how to impose those values in your life.
Absolutely. I mean, this is one book, the How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. To me, it sounds like a blueprint similar to the Nigerian economy, the way forward. I've actually read majority of the Nigerian economy, the way forward, and this book is just step by step of what is available already, what you can do in order to
Practice.
to increase the economy of a nation based on the resources that are there already.
Like
So-
not by gaining new resources and
No,
finding, but
no.
by using whatever you are.
Yes.
So if anyone in Nigeria or in any other country reads this book, it will become like a plan.
Yes.
What should
Yes, it becomes unless you actually exercise. So this is there now in the book. Unless people make a conscious decision that this is a worthy goal, this is worth going for, and taking the actions on a daily basis or for however long it takes to achieve what is said in here, you know, get the raw material, get the human resources together, and ensure that we take their plans, the how to regularly and implement them on a daily basis, then it's not going to happen. It would forever have all those resources sitting there, but nothing happens. So a
and die
worthy
from
goal.
hunger and
Yes, and this is what is happening.
And what about, let's say, how can I, for example, you advise me to read Only God Can Save Nigeria.
Yes.
With the sort of, like, what values this book will build in me and how these values will help me
For me
and
personally,
a nation.
the only
You
God.
are advising
Yes.
this book to me, for
Yes.
example.
Only God can save Nigeria. Seriously, I have said this several times, and I think many people. Thank you. I've said this several times, and I think many people have heard this already. But if you have, please forgive me for repeating this. But for the sake of this conversation, I need to say the
Yeah, because
word.
imagine that I don't know which values it will give me.
Yes.
I start understanding that I need to build values, but I don't understand which values this book will give to me.
Yes.
And how it will help me.
For me, this book, right, is the book that saves you from yourself. You know, I personally think that it should say, only God can save, say your name, right? Only God can save me. What a myth, you know? Because the word, you and Dr. Sunday got me to kind of think about this very well in terms of using the words, understanding the meaning of words, right? What we're saying, what this book is saying, is not that God is not important or God is not the one that saved you.
So it's
But
not,
the
it's
word-
not it's not devaluating God.
No. This is not devaluing God at all. This is actually elevating God and letting you know God, that everything that you need, God has already done. So the word there is like should be, God has already saved you. You know? So if you're still waiting that only Him can, that is the myth.
So
Because-
so what the value will be then, which I will build in me. The value is taking responsibility for what
Yes.
I already have.
Yes.
So if I will read book, I will learn to take responsibility
And take action.
for
This is
in action.
Yes, this is the book that help you to develop your own self-esteem of who you are and the power and the love and the creations
So it's
that
not
you
the
are
one,
already.
It's not one value.
No.
So
It's not one.
So first you will develop your self-esteem by reading
Yes,
this.
you will develop your self-esteem. I actually develop love for God in this book as well.
So you will develop love for God.
Yes, because already this book is telling me that God has already done everything for me.
Okay,
He's given
and-
me everything that I need.
So you don't think anymore like, God,
You
why
have
you
to do
did
this.
why did you do
Yes.
this to me?
Yes.
Something like this.
Why is somebody better than me? Or
So
why
you
is
know
it-
better God, you love better God.
Yes.
What else?
Then the next thing is that now I have to take responsibility. I have to stand as a giant, as a sound-minded, as a powerful person that God has already created me to be. You know, beautifully and fearfully made, like it says. You know, you say all these things, but this book makes you realize them, that you've already possessed everything that you need.
It's like this book is just like returning to Adam.
Yes.
Because you are returning into relationship
With
with God,
God.
as they used to be. Because
Yes.
because I don't think that
Adam, yes.
when he was in the garden, he was saying, God, why did you do this to me?
Yes.
Save me from this, or save me from that. He was busy working on
Yes,
what he was assignment that he was given, and he had everything.
That's an interesting one as well that you raised with Adam in the Garden of Eden. Absolutely, that God has provided everything. God, He wasn't saying, God, this garden that you put me in, there is not, certain things is not there.
Yeah, look at these animals. They are not named.
Yeah.
They
Or-
don't have names. Those
yeah,
animals
or
do
saying-
something.
It's not saying that. He's just continuing to do what He needs to do in the garden, and when God sees that He needs something, those things are provided. And that's how this book made me start to realize in myself that, wow, so God, you've actually provided me with everything. God, I love you. I'm so grateful. I didn't know you're this beautiful, this wonderful, this generous, this kind. And I immediately, my self-esteem just grew. I start to realize that this is not, I don't need to wait for God to do anything. Everything that He's done for the person or whoever I think is the greatest in the world, I also have it.
It's like
This is
like you are realizing I'm already living in the Eden.
Yes.
Wow.
Like I have
everything.
it. And
Wow.
then all
And
of a
this is-
sudden,
So this book, it makes you to be able to see, like
I
value,
see.
you learn to see the value of everything that you have.
the value of God created me, the purpose
Of me, value of me.
Yes, the value of me.
of everyone around.
Yes.
And every research around.
the value of where I come from, the value of everything about me that God has put in me were for a reason. And then immediately I develop a sense of urgency that I really need to now, like I have been sitting there, I felt like I've been lying down and I didn't realize that the time is gone. And then I just realized that, wow, the time is gone.
So the
I
value
am
of time also. You will
the
understand
value
the
of
value.
time.
So you will value relationship with God, yourself, time,
Yes.
and responsibility, ability to take responsibility.
So this is the book that tells you about responsibilities. It tells you about you have to go out there and stop complaining and saying that God hasn't done this, God needs to do this, and stop calling God a liar. Stop treating God like somebody that don't love you. Understand that if your worldly parents, if there was no Bible, I don't even think there are many Bible quotes in this book. I don't remember Bible quotes, but it made it very clear in plain English sentence that
Wow.
you cannot blame God for anything. God has done everything for you. You have the ability, you have the power, you have the authority, you have the capabilities, and you must go out there, till that land, till use the talents, the capabilities that God is giving you. Take responsibility. Don't be a baby. Now grow up. This
So
is it.
Imagine that this is just one book.
Yes.
And so many values. One book.
Yes.
And it means that any other book, like the book that you said, Nigerian Economy, the Way Forward, is also the same. So much.
Yes,
knowledge?
the Nigerian economy is a blueprint. If you're serious about what you want to do, or what you are serious about taking actions, and you're looking for ideas, you're looking for what you can do, that is the book for you. You know, this is where you will find
It's
hundreds.
It's like when you already woke up, you
Yes.
understand that something has to be done,
yeah.
and you just need to have a blueprint of
Yes.
what has to be done
Yes.
and how it has to be done. So then you go to the next book, which is the economy, the Nigerian economy, the way forward, and it will give you also some values.
Yes.
Which values it will give?
Nigerian economy, the way forward, will give you the value to now put into practice, to put into practice the things that you would find, should I say, you would find interesting, or go find an area that will meet your own interest.
Not interest.
Well, you're
maybe,
making your own niche,
yeah.
because it gives you a lot of Nigerians resources.
So you can see a choice for
Yes,
yourself.
yes.
So this book will show you the value of each area, each sphere of life or Nigerian economy, and you can make a choice of where you want to.
Where you come in?
Yeah.
Where do I come in? What can I do? What areas would I be able to be of a solution? So this is the book. The Nigerian economy would actually give you that footing to go and do more research, for you to go and understand a chosen area that you can be of solutions. And the good thing about the Nigerian economy is that it gives so much examples from different other nations, how they did it, how they've been able to achieve it. So you don't have to start from ground zero.
Yes.
You can take templates, you can take examples from other countries that have done it, how they did it is all there, but you can just go and expand on it, or build on it. I think this book, anyone that is interested in this book should also regularly watch Dr. Sunday's innovative ideas as well, because if they're able to grasp the innovative ideas with this book together, this combination will really, really help you to develop the value of you even being an inventor, you being a creator, you being a solution.
So being an inventor or innovator is also a value.
Yes, it is a value, because, okay, I've told my story several times that I'm one of those people that I know that I like good things, right? But for me, I did not have the value before of me actually being an inventor. I think that there
are people that are gifted to be inventors, and you just use it.
Yes, I use it, and all I need to do is work hard in terms of job, have a job or have a career that gives me enough money to go and buy what other people that are invented. But not until I came here, as I listened to Dr. Sunday, I realized that why can't I don't have to invent what they're inventing. I can consume some things, because I'm not going to invent everything. But to actually cross myself off the inventors list, that is because I didn't have the value.
You didn't have a value of being creative.
Yeah, I didn't know
it's actually very serious, because it's not like not having a value of God in you, because the creativity is the God in you.
Yes, but if this is
it's
one
like,
thing.
It's like you think that God is here, me, I'm here, and we are separate,
Yes, and He's giving some people this, and He hasn't given me.
But actually, what is happening is that
I wasn't willing to develop what it takes.
You were created in his image, and this value you didn't have before.
Yes, I didn't have this value because also I didn't build it. I didn't desire it.
No one told you about
Nobody
this,
told me,
yes.
and I didn't tell myself. You know, until somebody started to make it obvious to me, like what you said with the school, being in school as a child, until I was told that this is a value, which I didn't even realize. I thought I was making my own choices, but I was making the choices based on not thinking, being a child. But at the end of the day, I was showed that if you don't do your homework, you're not going to play with the rest of the class. You're going to have to spend the time to do your homework. So immediately I knew that I have to do this in order for me to be able to play. You know, there was no getting away with it. That's the rules. That's the way it goes. So then later on, I started to impose on myself to do my homework. You know, and because I know that if I do my homework, then I would have recess.
I think one more value that they help you to build in yourself is understanding of time. There is time for this, there is time for this, and they help you to time.
Yes. Time. They help you to time. We've just been told that our time is up. Guys, it's been great. I love the fact that Chimeze called and he gave us some really good points that actually got us talking without even reading the comments. I don't even know if there have been comments out there, but I'm grateful, guys, that you even joined us to engage, to listen to this. So I'm grateful for that. But you know what I love is the engagement. I really want us all to engage, to talk about this more, just like Chimeze calling us. I think it's a good idea that we all have our own opinion and we are able to share it. So Ebidemi says, before we build independence again in Nigeria, we must first kill the Goliath. We have to get someone like DSA. Goliath in means greed or pressers. Greed. Oh, so sorry. Goliath in means of greed, oppressors, lies, idolatry, armed robbery, terror, and hypocrisy. Thank you very much. That's really true, Bidemi, and thank you for actually that contribution. But you know, Dr. Sunday is doing that systematically. He's doing it with the books. He's doing it with the values.
Yeah, and he's doing this in order for us to become just like him.
Yes.
Like we are, he is given through these books that we have shown. Pastor is giving us all values that he has. He's sharing his values. So if we build these values in us, we are also
duplicated with other people as well.
We're going to be able to fight this Goliath as well.
Yes, and you know, we all have responsibility as well. We all have to remember that it's our responsibility as well as individual. I think one of the books which I didn't really delve into at all was the book Nigeria and the Leadership Question, and that particular book is about who are the people that are greedy, who are the people that are oppressors, they all come from the same pot. They're not exported from somebody or imported to Nigeria. They are people that are in Nigeria. They're us. We are the people that are greedy oppressors. So when we create the right or imbibe the right values, then all these things will no longer be there. So everybody has a responsibility in this.
But where people who didn't see these live broadcasts about Nigeria, like books that are written to build values that Pastor presented on Nigerian Independence Day on 1st of October, there was 15 or 16 books. Where they can get this?
Yes, guys, you can get first of all, you can watch the videos and you can get those videos or listen to the audios on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. So videos, Sunday Adelaja Official.
What is the title of it?
And the title is Nigeria Happy 57th Independence Nigeria. That's the title.
So just
part
search
1
like
and
this,
part 2. Yes.
Search like this in YouTube and you will.
Yes, and you will find these videos, part 1 and part 2
on the channel
on Dr. Sunday Adelaja. So it says Sunday Adelaja Official without the doctor, just Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. Happy Independence, 57th Independence Anniversary Nigeria. So it's got part 1 and 2, and it was published on the 1st of October 2017. So watch those videos, and the list of books can be purchased as well on Amazon. So all these books are already on Amazon, the 15 books that Dr. Sunday presented that you can help you to build the right values. They're all on Amazon or Okada Books. So please feel free to check the books out. I mean, maybe if you just read one, you might not know, you might like it, you might not, but I would assure you, you know, I was somebody that wasn't really interested in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, but I'm not really too keen on Nigeria because I was raised in England. But reading those books is really ignites my passion for Nigeria, and I really do love Nigeria now, and I cannot wait to contribute my quarters to make Nigeria a better place. Are we back to time? Are we back to time? I'm not sure what Chimezi is saying here, but we will be back soon. If talking of time, we will be back Sunday. Sunday will continue on vindication of Wally's teachings with videos. You know, it's really good, it's really exciting. And you know, this evening is because we're in the office. As you can see, we're in Dr. Sunday's office, a different part from where I was yesterday and the last couple of days. So we will be leaving here early because it takes us an hour ride to get back home. So please, guys, join us early as possible so that we can start the program, and you would have the opportunity also to call in the evening. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much for joining today. I appreciate you every time, and you make this so easy. Please feel free to contribute in these programs as much as you want to. We love your contribution, and personally, I learn from you. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.